Welcome to Crochet by Night. I'm Veronica and I'm going to show you how to do the easy cherry blossom crochet hat using the crochet cluster stitch. Now I'm really excited because this is my very first video on YouTube, and so please give me a little bit of leeway here and some understanding while I attempt to show y'all how to do this. The first thing I want to do is say that you need a tapestry needle, you need a 6mm crochet hook, and I am using Yarn Bee's Arabella. This Arabella is the color Coral Sunset. It is 55% cotton and 45% acrylic. It's weighted as a 5 bulky weight yarn, and it's something that I have been using recently and I just love it. So let's get started. I got the yarn, by the way, from Hobby Lobby. Alright, gotta find the end of my yarn. I'm gonna set my crochet hook down and I'm gonna start with a slip knot. Now to tie a slip knot, you just make a loop and pull this up through and then pull this one tight. So a slip knot. You're gonna put your hook, insert your hook in the loop. Now I use my pinky and my middle finger and my thumb when I'm crocheting. I go around my pinky, go around my pinky, over my pointer finger, and then I use my middle finger and my thumb for tension. Using a crochet hook and crocheting is a lot like learning to type. It's something you don't do well to begin with, but the more you do it, the better you get. It's called muscle memory. So your muscles and your hands will get used to holding the tension and holding the crochet hook. So just hang in there and keep trying, because you definitely will get the hang of it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to yarn over. That's what it's called when you put the yarn across the hook this way. So you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through the loop. That's a chain stitch. You're going to yarn over and pull through the loop again. That's your second chain stitch. Yarn over, pull through a third time. That's 3 chain stitches, and yarn over and pull through. So you're going to have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 stitches, chain stitches. Now you're going to insert your hook into the very first stitch, and you're going to, if I can get my tail out of the way so you can see, yarn over and pull through both of those loops, creating a circle or a large loop. So then you're going to just chain 1. That chain does not count as a stitch. And you're going to yarn over and you're going to go through that hole, and you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through the 2 of the loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook back into that hole, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 of the loops on your hook. That leaves you 3 loops. Yarn over, insert your hook into the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Sometimes the yarn will split on you, so let me try that again. I'm just going to take those out, start over. So yarn over, insert your hook in the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook in the loop, the big hole there, yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves you 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, put your hook in the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and that leaves you 4 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 4, and then you're just going to yarn over and pull through that loop to close it off. So that's a chain stitch. So you just created a cluster using double crochet and a chain stitch to close that off. So we're going to do 5 more of those. So you're going to yarn over, insert through the middle, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook through the center, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. That gives you 3 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over, put it through the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook, and then do a chain stitch to close it off. So now you have 2 clusters. Let's do another one. Yarn over, put your hook through the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, put your hook through the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 3 on the hook. Yarn over, put your hook through the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves you 4 loops on the hook. You're going to pull through all 4 and then do a chain stitch. So now you have 1, 2, 3 clusters. Let's do it again. Yarn over, put your hook through the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, put your hook through the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves you 3. Yarn over, put your hook through the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves you, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the hook. You're going to yarn over and pull all 4 through, and then you're going to do a chain to close it off. 1, 2, 3. So we need to do 2 more of those. Yarn over, insert your hook in the hole there, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook in the center there, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That gives you 3 on the hook. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over, insert your hook through the hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves you 1, 2, 3, 4 on the hook, and you're going to go through all 4, and then you're going to yarn over and do a chain stitch. So you need 1 more. You ready? Yarn over, put your hook in the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves you 3. Yarn over in the center, yarn up, over, pull through 2. That leaves you 4 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 4. Then you're going to chain stitch. So let's count these to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we needed 6. So we've got 6 clusters. Now to close this round off, you're going to take your hook and you're going to insert it in the chain stitch or the top of that very first cluster. Yarn over. And sometimes it's tricky, but you got to very carefully pull it through and then pull it on through that next loop. Then you're going to take the tail and you're going to pull it tight, which closes off the loop. Okay, so we're going to find that space, next space right there. You can kind of see my fingers sticking up through it. You're going to put your hook through that, and you're going to yarn over and pull through the yarn, and you're going to yarn over and pull through. So you're just slip stitching. Once you've got your slip stitch in the space, you're going to chain 1. That chain does not count as a stitch, but it will get us the height we need. And then you're going to start again, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to yarn over, but this time you're going to put your hook through that space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, put your hook through that space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves you 3 on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook right now. and then you yarn over and pull through all 4, and then you chain 1. Now we're going to put 2 clusters in each chain space around from the previous row. So we just put 1 in. Now we're going to yarn over, go back in that same hole or the same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook through the space, yarn over, pull through 2. That gives you 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 4 loops on the hook, and you're going to pull through all 4 and chain 1. So putting 2 in the space is called a double cluster. We're going to do a double cluster in each space around till we get to the end of this row. So I'm going to do one more with you. You're going to find that next chain space. You're going to skip that cluster, and you're going to find the next chain space, and you're going to yarn over, and you're going to insert your hook in the chain space, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, and then insert your hook into the chain space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You should now have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. And you're going to chain 1 to close it off. Yarn over, insert your hook in the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the hook. Yarn over, pull through all 4 and do a chain, and now you have two clusters. So you have 2 clusters or a double cluster in that first space, a double cluster in the second space. You're going to put a double cluster in each space all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so we're at the end, and you can see that I have 12 clusters around, or 6 double clusters. We call them double clusters because there are 2 of them in the space, in each chain space, but it's a total of 12 stitches around. So in order to close this round off, you're going to find the top of your very first cluster stitch in this round, and you're going to insert your hook, and it's going to be a little tight, so you have to kind of work it around, and you're going to yarn over and pull through, and then pull through that loop on your hook, so that way it's a slip stitch and it closes it off. Now you can see where this yarn sometimes splits. That's alright, put your hook back through. For the next round, we're going to find the next space and insert our hook and do a slip stitch, means yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the loop on your hook. So that way we get to the center. We're going to chain stitch 1, which helps us come up in height, and you're going to yarn over, and you're going to do the very same thing you've been doing. You're going to put a double cluster in each space, so 2 cluster stitches in each space. Remember as you do them that you do a chain stitch after each one to close the top. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook in that space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook through the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That gives you 3 on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook through the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That leaves you 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 4, and do a chain stitch. Okay, so that's your first cluster in this space. You need to do one more cluster in this space before jumping over to the next. Let's do a couple more together. Yarn over, insert your hook in the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, put your hook through the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, that leaves you 3 on the hook, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, leaving 1, 2, 3, 4 on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. Then do your chain. Okay, so that's a cluster stitch, a double cluster stitch in the first space. Go ahead and do just like we've been doing and put double clusters in each space around. Okay, so we're at the end of that row. You should have 24 clusters, or 12 double clusters as we call them, and you're going to insert your hook into the top of the very first cluster. Remember, that feels a little tight when you do that, and you're going to pull through and then just pull through again. So that's a slip stitch. Now right now it just kind of looks like a little disc, but trust me, it will turn into a hat. One of the things I want to mention also is if you're not using this particular yarn, this yarn is a 5-weight bulky, and if you're not using this yarn, you may have to do some adjustments, and we'll talk about that in a little while. But this particular yarn makes a great hat, and you only have to use one skein. Of course, I'm not affiliated with any yarn company or anything like that, so I'm just showing you what I like to use. I've also decided, I'm so very excited, and I don't know if you can tell by my voice, but I'm a little nervous, but I'm so very excited to have this Crochet by Night YouTube channel that I'm hoping that I get some subscribers, someone else who loves crochet as much as I do, or somebody who wants to learn crochet. And if I get 1,000 subscribers, I am going to do a giveaway and give away a box of various yarns, one of which is, of course, the Yarn Bee Arabella. So every video that I make, I will put one of those skeins of yarn into the box, and when I get 1,000 subscribers, one lucky subscriber will get a big box of yarn in a yarn giveaway. So if you will, please like and subscribe to my channel. So we're going to go on then to the next row, and just like in previous rows, we're just going to slip stitch over into the space between the 2 clusters, and you're going to pull up a loop and we're going to pull through. That gets us in that space we need to work in, if you can see that. And then we're going to just chain 1 to bring us up in height, and we're going to yarn over, insert the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert in the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves us 3 on the hook. Yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, leaving 4 on the hook, and then pull through all 4, and then close it off with a chain stitch. So go ahead and do that. You're going to do on this one, you're going to do 1 single cluster, and then in the next space you're going to do a double cluster. So let me do that with you. So we've got a single, we're going to yarn over, and we're going to insert in the very next space, insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 3 on the hook. Yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, giving you 4 on the hook. Count those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, pull through all 4, yarn over, and close it off with a chain stitch. Okay, one more in the same space. So you had one cluster in the one cluster stitch in the first space. Now you're going to have a double cluster, so we need to add one more cluster into this space. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you've got 3 on the hook, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and now you have 4 on the hook, and you're going to pull through all 4 and close off with a chain space. So you have a single cluster, and then you have a double cluster. So then you're going to do a single cluster in the next one and a double cluster in the following one. It's going to go single, double, all the way around. And then I'll meet you back here to close off. Okay, welcome back. You've got, should have your round done all the way around, ready to close this round off. And I just want to tell you right now, it just looks like a big floppy disc, right? But it will look like a hat when we're done. What we were doing by adding double clusters and a single and double clusters all the way around is basically doing what we call an increase. So we're increasing the size. Now the next row we're going to start working on, if you will, the body of the hat. If you're not using this particular yarn, if you're using even some 5-weight worsted yarns, they don't always measure the same. If you're using a different size hook, definitely it won't measure the same. Sometimes I do this pattern, and if I don't have a chunky, I'll use just regular, like Red Heart, size 4 worsted weight yarn, or a Karen 1 pound. But a lot of times I will add 2 strands of that when doing it, so that it gets that bulky feel. So you may have to play with the pattern a little bit to make it fit the size that you need. Okay, so where we're at right now is we're going to go ahead and close off this round. You're going to find the chain stitch at the top of that first cluster. It's a little tight. It's always a little tight. You're going to pull, yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through, closing that off. And then we're going to find the next space, and we're going to yarn over and put our hook through, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then just continue yarning over into the one on the hook. So that's a slip stitch. I'm hoping, y'all, that I get better at describing these when I'm not so nervous. So stick with me on some future videos, and let's see if I can help make some of you beginners feel more comfortable. Lord knows I had enough issues when I first started crocheting that my very first amigurumi that I did was kind of funny, because amigurumi, as most of you know, is a crocheted animal or person that you stuff. And I made this cute little army bear, and I was so proud when I was done. And at the end, I looked, and one foot was so much bigger than the other. And so I was so disgusted. I didn't want to do any more crocheting. But I kept on. I kept watching YouTube. I kept reading. I'd been crocheting off and on since 8th grade. But things change. Yarns change. The passion for crochet, however, has never changed. And so I suggest that if this is something you're enjoying doing, that you stick with it. I know the frustration is really hard when you first start out. Nothing seems right, and we are always our worst critic. So no matter what we make, we're always going to find the faults where other people will see it, and all they'll see is a creative work of art where we're seeing and nitpicking our own creations. So stick with it and hang in there, and you'll get really good at it. If you aren't a beginner and you're watching this, stick with me and keep watch to see if I can improve, because I really think as long as you're learning, you're living. So, okay, on to the next row. I'm sure y'all are tired of hearing me talk. We're going to find the next chain, the next chain space. We're going to insert our hook, and we're going to pull up a loop, and pull through the loop on your hook, so you're slip stitching, and then we're going to chain 1 so that it pulls us up in height, and then you're going to do a single cluster stitch in each space all the way around. Not a double, but a single. So let's do that 1 or 2 of these together. Yarn over, insert your hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 of the loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 of the loops on your hook. That leaves you 3. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, leaving you 4 loops on the hook. Now pull through all 4 and do a chain stitch. Jump over to the next space and do a cluster. Ready? We're gonna, yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves you 4 on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 4, and a chain stitch to close off. We're going to jump to the next space. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to do 1 cluster in each space around. And then I will meet you back up at the end. Okay, we're at the end of this round. Go ahead and find the chain stitch at the top of your cluster. Insert your hook. Again, it's going to be a little tight. Pull the hook through and pull through. So that way it's a slip stitch. So you can start to see it starting to curl up a little bit, and it looks probably a little big. It forms pretty well to the head when we're done. So what I want you to do now on your own is go ahead and repeat the round we just did. Do it 6 more times. Once you've got 6 more rounds completed, then come back and let's finish up. When I was first learning to do some crochet, when I hadn't done it a while and I was trying to pick it back up, I would go to YouTube and I would watch videos, and I would have to stop the video over and over and over and go back a row. I would have to do what you call frogging. I would have to frog or pull out stitches. I don't know why they call it frogging. Maybe because it sounds like ripping out or is like ribbit. I don't know. But they call it frogging. So I would have to frog my project and come back to it, start over to get it right. This hat is pretty forgiving. If you have missed a stitch here or added a stitch there, it usually will work itself out. But if not, go ahead and frog it and start over. Practice makes perfect. I know you hate to hear that, but it is something that, like I said in the beginning, requires some muscle memory. So keep practicing. Do 6 more rows and then come back and let's finish off together. Okay, so we're back, and if you didn't have enough yarn to do all 6 additional rows, then you can use what yarn you have left and do more than 1 finishing row. My finishing row is going to be single crochets, and you're going to start, once you've closed off the last row that you complete, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to go right back into the top of that stitch with a single crochet. So you insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. That's a single crochet. Now you're going to do a single crochet all the way around in the top of the clusters and in the chains. So I'm in the top of the cluster here, and I'm going to do 1 right in the chain, and then it'll be a little tight, but I'm going to go right in under those 2 loops right there, the top of the cluster. I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to go into the space, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. just keep going all the way around with a single crochet. If you don't have enough yarn and you're using the same yarn that I am, it may be because you are crocheting too loose. Sometimes I crochet loose, sometimes I crochet very tight. It just depends upon what I'm doing at the time. I tend to get a little loosey-goosey when I'm watching TV and trying to crochet. If I'm paying attention and watching all my stitches, then I tend to do a little tighter a stitch. There's no wrong way to do that. It's just what's most comfortable for you. Don't crochet so tight that your hand starts cramping up. If you're holding your hook so tight that your hand's cramping up, that's too tight, and you need to just practice a few relaxation techniques with your hand. Okay, so I'm going to go on around and I will meet you back at the end of this row. Okay, so at the end of this row, if you need this hat to be longer, put the hat on, make sure it's going to fit you the way you want it to. As I said earlier, if you are using the same hook I am, this is the gauge you'll get, but if you're using a smaller hook, your hat's going to be smaller. If you're using a bigger hook, your hat's going to be bigger. The size of the yarn makes a difference as well. Try the hat on, see if it works for you. If it's a little too loose, you can do some more rounds of single crochet all the way around. If it's not long enough, if it's not coming over your ears like you want it to, you can make a few more rounds of single crochet. I'm going to leave mine like this, and then I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to just yarn over and pull through all the way through and tighten that up. And then I'm going to take my needle, my tapestry needle, and I'm going to, and I like these, I've got a little yarn attached there, but I like these that have the plastic eyes that kind of, you can kind of stretch them out a little bit because my eyesight's really bad, so threading a needle is somewhat difficult for me. So I'm going to put that through, and then I am going to come in here and pull the end all the way through so it's to the back side. And then I'm going to put a few stitches in, and if you see, I learned this from a lady, really nice lady, when I was just starting back into crochet. I was always having trouble with my ends coming out, and it's because I wasn't splitting the threads with the needle. I don't know if you can see that, but if you can split the threads just a little bit and pull through, it'll hold better. You can kind of feel a little bit of tension there, but you go through a couple of different ways. I always tend to go back through where I just underneath. So just continue to sew in your end until you feel comfortable that it's going to stay, and then clip it off. I will show you my finished product in just a moment, but let me just remind you that I am new to YouTube. I am so excited about crochet, so much so that when I get 1,000 subscribers, and I have faith that I will have 1,000 subscribers, because I know there's so many people out there who love crochet like I do. But when I get 1,000 subscribers, I have a big box that I'm putting yarn in, I'm purchasing and putting in so that I can do a giveaway. It's yarn from Red Heart, Lion Brand, Hobie yarn. There's all kinds of yarn that will go in there, and I'm not sure how many skeins yet will be in there, but it'll be a pretty big box. So one lucky subscriber will get that grand prize. So tell your friends, please like and subscribe, and I'm going to put a picture up so you can see my finished product. Just remember, kindness and crochet nurture the soul. Have a good night.